ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನದ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಏನು? ಯೋಗ, how important is yoga in your life?
Yoga is a way of life. When we talk about yoga, it is not just about asana practice. Yoga includes yama, niyamas, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dhyana, dharana. So it is about practicing all these 8 limbs. It is difficult to practice, but we are trying to practice all together little by little to become a better person, a wholesome person.
In general, the awareness to visit a gynecologist is very minimal in our country. It might be a pregnancy related issue or a severe issue which needs a treatment is only when one looks up to a gynecologist. But we are suggested to meet her annually at least once. So let's know a doctor's opinion about the same. Doctor, ನೀವೇನು ಹೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀರಾ?
See, onto ladies' health is the most important thing in a family. If onto lady is okay, or she is the pillar of the house. So ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಹೆಲ್ತ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ the whole house is disrupted, right? So it is very important for a lady to not only look after others but also to look after her own health. That's very important. And it is not only for a pregnancy or for a definite problem that she should think of going to the hospital. She should also think of having an annual checkup, or certain tests have to be done once in 3 years and all that. So on the annual checkup, like ivaga all the multinational companies and general awareness barta ide ladies ke that they have to do annual checkups. So that has created a different scenario now, but otherwise usually, like you said, it is only for these 2 conditions that they come to the hospital.
How has learning changed in COVID-19, and how are educators and students coping up with the new change?
These are very uncertain times, and definitely learning in education has changed over the past 3 months for students, teachers and parents. First of all, I think students are definitely missing going to school, meeting their friends, having all the extracurricular activities, and while they might love the fact that they're having to control their schedule based on their pace, they just have to brush their teeth and join the online classes. There are certain aspects of online learning that kids do enjoy, but all in all, I think definitely the kids are missing school. As teachers, definitely we miss the lively face-to-face interaction and the cues we get from the kids when they're actually learning well. And all of a sudden, all the methods that teachers relied on, it could be projects, workshops, just the conventional board and chalk way of teaching, tying stories together for concepts, all of these have to be packed into one online module. I think that's a bit challenging. But in general, I should say, if you look at the situation in India right now, the teachers, the schools and the students have all adapted quite well. I think that's a pleasant surprise.
There are so many myths about diet and nutrition.
Yeah.
So can you just give clarity about those, and what exactly is an ideal diet?
Okay, so when we talk about myths, there are like carbohydrates are bad for you, fats are bad for you. But let me tell you, none of these are bad for you if you're having it in a moderate amount, right? So if they say carbohydrates are bad, if you're eating carbohydrates in all your meals in large amount, definitely they will be bad.
Veena, you have been an active person all your life, always being to the gym or to the pool and keeping yourself active. So how has lockdown treated you? What are the changes?
Lockdown initially was very hard to accept because we were so used to going to the gym every single day. Suddenly there is like no gyms, everything is shut. We were like completely lost for 1 week or so. We didn't know what to do, what not to do. So then I made up my mind, because we were hearing rumors from people that this is going to go for really long, and they had to make sure that something has to be done for this. That's when I started my home workouts all by myself.
So what exactly you do? How is your day in a ship? Like, what's your daily routine like? How is your typical day on a ship look like?
Okay, on a ship now, in the last rank that I was in before I retired, I was the captain. The correct terminology is master mariner. So in legalese, when you have, my rank is a master of the ship, not captain. Captain is something which like you add to your name or prefix your name with captain. So you don't say Master Prasad, right? You say Captain Prasad. Anyway, otherwise we have rather routine lifestyle on board. We have our mornings. See, the ship runs 24/7. There is never a time when the ship, everything shuts down, people go to sleep and then wake up in the morning. It's not like that. Everything, the machinery, everything is running 24/7. As long as we are on board, we are on duty. So, since we travel from different to different countries, from A to B, it's we also cross a lot of time zones. So our routine doesn't stay constant. Today, I might wake up at my usual 6 o'clock, but tomorrow if I've gone westwards, that 6 o'clock comes a little later. So, I mean, but the routine is there, so I can wake up 1 hour later. So these things happen.
First, get started off with, where did it all start?
Well, the Silver Talkies journey started actually, I think the idea was sowed long ago, sometime in 2011. And the idea came when I and my partner Reshmi, we saw our own parents who had retired, and we initially thought, or I had initially thought that, when my father retired, I thought it would be about having fun and going back to his hobbies. So when he retired, I actually, he was fond of painting and drawing, and my retirement gift to him was art supplies. Like, I bought a load of art supplies for him, and I thought he would find time to do all that. And he did it. He did it for about, I think, 2-3 months. And after 2-3 months of doing that, he kind of went back to his old routine, of running household chores, going to the bank, watching TV, going for his walk. But there was nothing beyond that. And when I started looking out for opportunities for him, I thought maybe I can find something where he could be a part of. He didn't have a very active social life because he was so busy with his shifts. He was an engineer with Delhi Vidyut Board, and so I couldn't come back with anything. There was nothing which was happening for seniors way back then. And similar story even Rashmi kind of faced in her with her parents, where her mother wanted an active social life, but there was nothing that she could facilitate for her. And that's how the idea for Silver Talkies came about. And so what started as a blog many years ago, over time it converted into an online magazine, and so that's how it kind of progressed. And our learnings over the course of few years, we also realized that seniors needed more than just information, so we kind of diversified into social engagement, we diversified into doing events and workshops. So yeah, so to your question, yes, that's how the journey started.
What exactly is veganism?
Veganism is an ethical stance to treat everyone as equals. Everyone in this earth has a purpose, and nobody is here for us. Everybody is with us.
ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಇಷ್ಟು ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದ ಈ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಡೆಂಟ್ರಿ ಲೈಫ್ ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ. ಲೈಫ್ ಸ್ಟೈಲಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಇದೆ, ಆಚೆ ಹೋಗಿ ತಿರ್ಗಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಇದೆ, ಬಟ್ ಯೋಗನ ಒಂದು ಲೈಫ್ ಸ್ಟೈಲಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ಟೈಮ್ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಊಟ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಆಚೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಹೆಲ್ತನ್ನು ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮಿಕ್ಕಿದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಯೋಗನ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಭಾಗವಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಹೇಗೆ? ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿ ಅದು. How to make yoga as a part of our being.
Everybody knows health is wealth, but when it comes to application, it is very, very difficult. But let's think about it. Our body is the temple of our soul. If body is not healthy, how you will carry your soul, right? So how we eat, every day we eat, every day we wash your body, every day we go out to earn money. It's becoming a wholesome part. But why not we take care of our body, which is the only instrument to go forward? So we should start taking a sankalp that I will take care of this physical body, I will take care of this mental body, I will take care of this spiritual body. Then only the rest of the days will follow naturally in a very, very sattvic way. The best way to apply application is morning time, because in morning we do all these sattvic activities. We take part, we do puja, we eat breakfast. So if we include this yoga practice, whole rest of the day you are free. By evening you can meet your friend, you can go out shopping, or you can go to the mall and do time pass. All these things can be done because you have already done the important aspect of daily routine. Morning is the very best time. In case if you are not able to practice in the morning, any time in a day is a good time to practice. So plan your day accordingly, try to put in the morning session, otherwise you can do in the evening also, but make sure that you do at least 10 minutes of practice. If you are not able to do asana practice also, at least sit down for 10 minutes and do Anulom Vilom as a first step, and let's see where it goes. The practice is to start with the small step, then it comes 2 steps, then 3 steps, then you know where you are going.
ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನಾವು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು ವಿಷಯ ಏನಂದರೆ, ಮಹಿಳೆಯರಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇರೋದು, ಅನಿಮಿಕ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು ತುಂಬ ಕಾಮನ್ ಆಗಿ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ಅಂತಲೂ ಹೇಳೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಬಟ್ that's the main issue in women going through a lack of blood. So in what way can that be compensated, or how can that be corrected?
Anemia ante it is not just on the rural population nalli ನಾವು ನೋಡೋದು ವಿಷಯ. Even in the higher socio-economic status, because of the unhealthy dietary pattern that they are following in terms of junk food or not having a healthy diet, children or women are having anemia. Anemia can be because of a nutritional cause, where it is a deficiency because your diet is not adequate in iron and folic acid. So there can be a pure iron deficiency anemia, or it can be a mixed kind of anemia. So and B12 deficiency also can add on to that anemia. Second main thing is hookworm infestation, which is more common in a lower socioeconomic or in a rural population. It's very rarely seen in a higher socioeconomic population unless they eat food outside or they are exposed to places where the hookworm can infest through the feet and other things. And third main cause would be bleeding piles or hemorrhoids kind of a situation.
So how far do you think online education is effective, and what are the differences you observe in children being physically in the classroom and in an online session?
Oh well, that's a very interesting topic. So when we talk about online learning, right, there are, I think, 2 aspects to it. One is the student learning completely online, which means there is no instructor, there is no blended way, there's nobody leading the course. Then that's one aspect of it. And then there is the second category where it is an instructor led course. Now when it comes to online learning, definitely there are 2 sides of the story. The pros, or what the students like about it, is you can access it anytime, it's very convenient. The kids can learn at their own pace, but the danger there is the own pace shouldn't become a motivation to procrastinate, right? That's always there. And last but not the least, the students can maneuver their learning, okay? But what does all these the flexibility options mean? It means that the student is the main person who is accountable to make online learning successful. They have to be well organized, they have to be motivated, they should manage their time well, right? These are some of the pros. As a teacher, what are the pros of online learning? Well, we can leverage a lot of content, create our own, and sometimes if teachers are smart enough to personalize the module as part of online learning, that's the best benefit we can get.
ಹೈಡ್ರೇಷನ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್? ಒಂದು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇವತ್ತು ಏರಿಯೇಟೆಡ್ ಡ್ರಿಂಕ್ಸ್ನ, ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಡ್ರಿಂಕ್ಸ್ನ ಹೈಡ್ರೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ತಿದೆ. ಒಂದು ಮಿಸ್ಕನ್ಸೆಪ್ಷನ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಡು ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಸ್ಪೀಕ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೇಷನ್? ಹೌ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್?
So our body is maximum, it's made of water, okay? And for every function of our body, anything, may it be digestion or circulation or anything, passing nutrients from one part of the body to the other, from blood to cells, everything requires water. And people, I don't know why people don't drink water. It's such a amazing thing to drink. Okay, so again it comes from good habits. If you don't have good habits of drinking water, you will treat it as a back end thing. You won't realize that how important water is, and some people don't feel thirsty, so they don't think it's a need to drink water, but water is very, very, very important. If you don't like the taste of water, I usually prepare a detox water. It is called detox water, but you know, you can add some ingredients in it, like you can add ginger to it, you can add cucumber, mint, which itself has you know, more properties. Yeah, you can add some fruits, and you can make water you know, flavorful, and you can drink that way, right? Or you can have you can sip coconut water, you can sip lemon water. There are ample amounts of things. Coming to Coke, coming to Fanta, coming to all these aerated drinks, we all know they're not good, but we still end up drinking them. So it's up to you. You know, your health is in your hands. You know how good or bad it is. So yes, you have to stop drinking them. They're again satisfying your sugar cravings, because there is nothing but sugar in it. There are a lot of empty calories. There's nothing good about Coke or Fanta. I think a lot of people are now aware of this, and it's only just the teenagers and that sector of that you know,
The
young generation, they feel very cool about drinking that. So again, as a parent, as a teacher, in school, as I said, we should introduce why they are good, why they are bad.
You are a legend there, standing out there. But for a common person, is working out 3 or 4 days a week a good thing to start off with?
A good thing to start off with for a normal layman, for a basic for basic levels who have not done workout ever, I would suggest 3 days in a week should be good. Okay, one day you do your cardio, one day you do your strength, and one day you do your yoga and flexibility.
But for the new generation who are pursuing the career, who are wanting to go into maritime industry, so what suggestions? Like, is it hunky-dory as it looks? It has its own hardships. So, like, what you say?
I would see, the thing is, it would be very unfair if I just painted with a hardship kind of thing and say everybody, you know, this is the lens, hardship lens. No, it's not fair. There are a lot of positive things about being in the maritime industry. First of all, the thing is, you evolve quicker because you are thrown there and you have to fend for yourself.
So, what suggestions you would want to give the younger generation, if that can be a possibility that can make the older generation feel a little more comforted at home? See, today at this point, all they need is maybe some warm hugs and some care and love, even though they know a lot about, or the lot of experience they are coming from, but they need a lot of tender care at times. True. So what suggestions you would want to give the younger generation?
See, my learning from my own parents and having interacted with seniors very closely over the years, I think one of the biggest challenges which stays is, as you rightly said, they are so used to taking care of their children and then their grandchildren that they have kind of neglected their own well-being. They don't know what to do for themselves, right? They get happiness out of taking care of others. They don't know how to take care of themselves. So I think it becomes really imperative and important that as we as children, as the younger adults, are aware of what our parents want, right? Like I as a mother would be very aware of what my child wants, right? But I may not always know what my mother is looking for or what my father needs. So I think that awareness and that sensitivity is very, very important. And so like how we kind of look out for opportunities for our children to keep them engaged. I think we as younger adults need to help identify such opportunities for our parents too. True. Understanding that how with age, they also need to be part of social circles. We cannot leave them to be as the adults. They also need to be taken care of because they may not really know what to do.
Yeah, change is the only constant. And in the current pandemic, immunity has been the biggest challenge for many people. So, do you think veganism can give a solution to it?
Absolutely. See, to begin with, this pandemic did not start in a fruit market or a vegetable market. It started in a live animal market. As long as we have animals cooped up in a small space, they are pooping, they are becoming sick and diseased, they are given injections to stay alive. As long as we are in that kind of a scenario, we are bound to experience this kind of pandemic in future also. See, these things don't happen in fruit markets and vegetable markets, as I said before. These things happen in live markets, and when the virus shifts its host from one animal to the other animal, it mutates and it becomes more stronger. So it is good to maintain distance from wild animals as well as domesticated animals. The more you stay away from, for example, tuberculosis started from cows. So from cows it came to humans because of our association with our domestic cows. Human beings started getting tuberculosis. And there are many other diseases like MERS, SARS and other things. They all started from animal association. So it is good for us that we maintain some distance from our animal friends. Talking about immunity, see, eating healthy food, as I said, it will reduce your inflammation levels when the immune system is not taxed on everyday basis.
ಲೇಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ಸ್ಗಳಿಗಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಚಾನಲ್ನ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಆಗಿ ಬೆಲ್ ಐಕಾನ್ ಒತ್ತಿ. ಇನ್ನಷ್ಟು ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ಸ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಫೇಸ್ಬುಕ್, ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಗ್ರಾಮ್, ಟ್ವಿಟರ್ ಪೇಜ್ನ ಲಾಗಿನ್ ಆಗಿ.